how are you? Hello and how are you? Welcome to our story time. Hello and how are you? Hello and how are you? Hello and how are you? Welcome to our story time. Hello and how are you? Hello, boys and girls. It's Plopper and Miss Judy from the Community Library of Allegheny Valley, located in Natrona Heights, PA. Welcome to our bedtime story time. Let's get started by doing our ABCs. Are you ready, Plopper? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Good job. Now let's see what number we're going to count to today. Oh, look, there are 8 bunnies. Shall we count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now let's go listen to our first story. Yoga Bunny by Brian Russo. Yoga Bunny by Brian Russo. One morning, Bunny crawled out of his hole, rubbed his eyes, and let out a big yawn. This is a perfect morning to do yoga, he said. Bunny dropped his head and arms down toward his feet, coming into a forward fold. Just then Lizard came walking by. Good morning, Lizard, said Bunny. Would you like to do yoga with me? I hate everything about mornings. I wish I could just go back to bed, Lizard replied angrily. And with that, Lizard stomped away. Bunny was disappointed, but he took a deep breath, placed his hands on the ground, stepped backward, and lifted his hips high up in the air, coming into downward dog. His friend Fox came hurrying by. Zoom, zoom, zoom. He was moving so fast that he startled Bunny. Out of my way, Bunny, he said. I'm in a very big rush. Well, maybe you could take a minute and do this yoga pose with me, Bunny suggested. It might help you slow down. No, thanks, Fox replied. I'd rather be in a big rush than do something so silly. And so he hurried away. Bunny felt a little bit sad, but he took a deep breath, stood up tall, placed his hands in front of his heart, and balanced on one foot, coming into tree pose. Just then Bird flew down, landing right on Bunny's head. I have a bad case of the hiccups, and I've tried everything to stop them, said Bird. Well, Bunny said, maybe you can do this tree pose with me. It can calm you down, and that might help with your hiccup. No way, Bird said. I'd rather live with these hiccups than stand on one leg. And with that, Bird flew away. Will anyone ever want to do yoga with me? Bunny wondered aloud. But then he reminded himself that doing yoga alone is better than not doing yoga at all. Just as Bunny took a deep breath, stepped back, bent his front leg, and reached his arms way up, coming into warrior pose, 2 little mice came walking by. What do you think he's reaching for? Whispered one of the mice. I don't know, but it must be very valuable. We'd better reach for it too. And so the mice stepped back, bent their front legs, and reached their arms way up, coming into warrior pose, just like Bunny. As they had their arms stretched way up and their eyes towards the sky, they noticed Bird flying by. Bird still had the hiccups, but he came down to join them, pressing his wings together in front of his heart, lifting up one leg, coming into tree pose, just like Bunny and the mice. All of a sudden they heard a loud noise. Zoom, zoom, zoom! Fox came hurrying by and saw the friends standing in a circle, and he pressed his hands to the ground, stepped back, and lifted his hips, coming into downward dog, just like Bunny, the mice, and Bird. Bunny took a deep breath and lay down flat on his back, coming into resting pose. When Lizard came walking back, he laid down just like Bunny. Bunny was so happy his friends had joined him that he opened his mouth and let out a big "Om," and everyone else did the same. "Om." "I know where I'm supposed to be," said Fox. "Not so angry any more. It's here. Thank you, Yoga Bunny." The end.
Welcome back from that first story. In the story, Bunny was teaching his friends yoga. And yoga is an exercise type of thing using body movements and stuff to relax your mind and your body. So, my friends, Miss Tanya and Miss Casey, made a video of the poses that Bunny did in the book. And I'd like you to watch them with me, and maybe you can do some of the yoga too.
Hello! Let's get started. Just like Yoga Bunny, we're going to start with a forward fold. We're going to do this by dropping our head and arms down towards our feet. You can feel that stretch. Next, we're going to plant our hands on the ground, step one foot back and then the other, lifting our hips high into the air. Now we're in downward dog. And to come out of this position, you can either drop down to your knees or you can step your feet back up towards your hands. The next pose that Yoga Bunny did was called tree pose. You'll bring your hands together at your chest, balance on one leg as you slide the other foot up to the inside of your standing leg. Now while you're here, you can reach your arms up towards the sky, or you can put them straight out to your sides. And it's okay if you're a little wobbly here. The final pose that we're going to do with Yoga Bunny was warrior pose. You step one foot back, bend your front leg, and sweep your arms up towards the sky. You can get a nicer stretch by also lifting your head up as well. And the final pose that we're going to end in today is going to be another forward fold. So again, drop your head and arms down towards your feet. And we're done. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Tanya and Casey. Now that we are all relaxed from doing the yoga, why don't we sit back and listen to our second story?
Sleepy Sheepy by Lucy Ruth Cummins. Illustrated by Pete Oswald. Sleepy Sheepy by Lucy Ruth Cummins. Illustrated by Pete Oswald. Sleepy Sheepy was not sleepy. But it was time for bed. At least that's what the clock said. Time for bed, my little cotton ball. Let's hit the hay, one and all. But Sleepy Sheepy was not sleepy. He looks pretty wound up to me. Not one more peep, my little sheep. Off we go. You've fluffed enough, Mr. Puff. But Sleepy Sheepy, now quite weepy, was not sleepy. In fact, Sleepy Sheepy was wide awake. Sleepy Sheepy would not sleepy. He was wired and absolutely not tired. So instead of bed, he built with blocks, knitted socks, and spun Ma and Pa Sheepy quite a yarn. That means he made up a story. And just then, Sleepy Sheepy yawned. See, said Ma Sheepy. There, said Pa Sheepy. So then they trotted softly, hoof in hoof in hoof, to his snuggly wuggly big boy bed. But Sleepy Sheepy was still not sleepy. It was time for a nighttime snack, but his eyelids drooped, his shoulders stooped, his brain was pooped. Maybe, said Sleepy Sheepy, quite sheepishly, I am a little bit tired. So Sleepy Sheepy got under the cozy covers. Ma Sheepy gave Sleepy Sheepy a kiss on his fluffy forehead. Pa Sheepy tucked his covers in quite tight, which felt just right. And by the time they turned out the light, Sleepy Sheepy was fast asleepy. The end.
Welcome back from our second story. I know we're getting nice and relaxed, so let's bend and stretch and reach for the stars, shall we? Bend and stretch, reach for the stars. Here comes Jupiter, there goes Mars. Bend and stretch, reach for the sky. Stand on tippy toe, oh so high. Well, our time here is just about up, so let's finish with our Skidamarink song, shall we? And I hope to see you next time. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo, I love you. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo, I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Oh, skidamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skidamarink-a-doo, I love you. And Ploppers does too. See you next time.